Indian Navy versus the Chinese Navy. What would happen if they went head to head? It is a possibility. They share the oceans. They are close neighbors. They are rivals. Let's take a look at a unbiased comparison between the two fleets.
The Indian Navy is the naval branch of the Indian Armed Forces. The President of India serves as Supreme Commander of the Indian Navy. The Chief of Naval Staff, usually a four-star officer in the rank of Admiral, commands the Navy. The Indian Navy is the fourth largest in the world. It played an important role in India's victory in the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War. The Indian Navy can trace its lineage back to the East India Company's Marine, which was founded in 1612 to protect British merchant shipping in the region. In 1793 the East India Company established its rule over the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent, but it was not until 1830 that the colonial navy became known as Her Majesty's Indian Navy. In 1858, East India Company rule gave way to the British Raj, which lasted until India became independent in 1947. When India became a republic in 1950, the Royal Indian Navy, as it had been named since 1934, was renamed to Indian Navy. The primary objective of the Navy is to secure the nation's maritime borders. India also uses its Navy to enhance its international relations through joint exercises, port visits and humanitarian missions, including disaster relief. In recent years, the Indian Navy has undergone rapid modernization to replace its aging equipment currently in service. This is often seen as part of India's drive to develop Bluewater capabilities and enhance its position in the Indian Ocean region. As of 2017, the Indian Navy has a strength of 79,023 personnel and a large operational fleet consisting of 3 aircraft carrier. By the end of the 14th Plan 2019, the Indian Navy expects to have over 150 ships and close to 500 aircraft and helicopters. In addition to the existing mission of securing both sea flanks in the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea, the Navy would be able to respond to emergency situations far away from the mainland. The Indian Navy has initiated Phase 2 expansion of INS Kadamba, the third largest naval base, near Karwar. Phase 2 will involve expansion of the berthing facilities to accommodate 40 more frontline warships, including the aircraft carrier INS Vikramaditya, raise manpower to 300 officers and around 2,500 sailors, and build a naval air station with a 6,000-foot runway. Thank you.
Castles and dragons, the battle begins tonight. Are you with me? This is our kingdom, and we won't run tonight. We are a team. Castles and dragons, the battle begins tonight. Are you with me? This is our kingdom, and we won't run tonight. We are a team. We can do anything together if we just try. And as long as we have our backs whenever our foes come by. This time we will win. This time we'll have to join forces. This time we will win. This time we'll have to join forces.
The People's Liberation Army Navy, known as the Pla Navy, is the naval warfare branch of the People's Liberation Army, the armed wing of the Communist Party of China and by default, the National Armed Force of the People's Republic of China. The PLN can trace its lineage to naval units fighting during the Chinese Civil War and was established in September 1950. Throughout the 1950s and early 1960s, the Soviet Union provided assistance to the PLN in the form of naval advisors and export of equipment and technology. Until the late 1980s, the PLN was largely a riverine and littoral force. However, by the 1990s, following the fall of the Soviet Union and a shift towards a more forward-oriented foreign and security policy, the leaders of the Chinese military were freed from worrying over land border disputes, and instead turned their attention towards the seas. This led to the development of the People's Liberation Army Navy into a green water navy by 2009. Before the 1990s, the PLN had traditionally played a subordinate role to the People's Liberation Army ground force. The People's Liberation Army Navy has become more prominent in recent years owing to a change in Chinese strategic priorities. The new strategic threats include possible conflict with the United States and/or a resurgent Japan in areas such as the Taiwan Strait or the South China Sea. As part of its overall program of naval modernization, the PLN has a long-term plan of developing a blue water navy. Robert D. Kaplan has said that it was the collapse of the Soviet Union that allowed China to transfer resources from its army to its navy and other force projection assets. China is constructing a major underground nuclear submarine base near San'an, Hainan. In December 2007, the first Type 094 submarine was moved to San'an. The Daily Telegraph on May 1, 2008 reported that tunnels were being built into hillsides which could be capable of hiding up to 20 nuclear submarines from spy satellites. According to the Western news media, the base is reportedly to help China project sea power well into the Pacific Ocean area, including challenging United States naval power. During the military parade on the 60th anniversary of the People's Republic of China, the YJ-62 naval cruise missile made its first public appearance. The YJ-62 represents the next generation in naval weapons technology in the PLA. A Chinese website stated that the PLN is going to build a 110,000-ton aircraft carrier, essentially a larger version of the Liaoning. The PLA Navy plans to establish 3 aircraft carrier battle groups by 2020. The Liaoning and China's first 2 domestically built carriers, currently under construction, will be part of the battle groups. One of the battle groups is to be deployed in the East China Sea, while the other 2 are to be deployed to the South China Sea. The PLN may also operate from Bluewater or Seychelles for anti-piracy missions and to protect vital trade routes which may endanger China's energy security in the case of a conflict.
We wanted to run. We wanted to fall together. Back then our world seemed so clear. We grew so bright, shimmering lights around us. We'd take flight into the sky. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? Straight ahead and you will see. You will see. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. the stars. We'll ride away from all the wars, close the doors and disappear again. And I don't know how many times I've said that this is not the end, and we will make it out of here alive. Oh, alive. Alive. Oh, alive. Alive.